I believe it's going to be right around the Orinoco Street area, just to the west of the park, south of MacArthur.
Stations, National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for western Jasper County until 1800
house,
hours.
which is on the east side, and Sherry might have been out in the backyard after church working in the yard.
We were in the kitchen. Liddy was doing her homework.
So I never even looked to the west. I had no idea until the other side of the house. And I didn't really know there was anything until actually, we were grilling at that point. I was done, and we were grilling and Sunday afternoon, and then I heard the sirens go off. I'm like, sirens?
The lightning strike from where I'm at.
I'm going to continue to update you on this danger storm.
And then I kind of swung my gaze back to the straight west and a little bit south, and it was just a black wall.
See a fire, see smoke in the background. This really looks like a war zone when you're out there.
That's where you need to take shelter at this time.
0541.
Probably going to have the worst damage around 20th and Main. We've got whole buildings missing, multiple subjects.
You could see cloud just kind of envelope that, and I told my son, I said, can you see that at the end of the street? And it was rotating left to right, kind of like just wisps going. And he goes, yeah. And I goes, can you hear that sound? And it was the thump, 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 thump of a typical what people hear in a tornado. And it's true, it's what you hear. And I said, now you've seen and heard a tornado. Go to the basement.
When the camera goes to black here, as it's going to do in a few seconds, that's because it's not an editing flaw. It's because apparently the power went out or the camera was hit or something. We're not sure.
Something went wrong and we don't have it up yet.
People outside my house have just been hit by this tornado. The area of the Dale.
It was probably 100 feet when I finally shut the door. Absolutely nothing in that rotation. I couldn't see a thing, just wisps of white and black and gray, just wisps going left to right. And then I said, yeah, I got to go inside. I just can't do this anymore. And I look over my shoulder and I see all the windows in the back of the house blow. Boom, 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 just like somebody took a shotgun and just shot every window. It just blew every one of them in. And by the time I got to the basement, around the corner, and that's when it kind of started getting dark, the power had already gone out at that point. And then it started to hammer. Then you could hear, at first it sounded like somebody's, breaking some windows now, and you hear some more breaking and clashing, and then it was quiet. And I remember Sherry asking, it's pitch black in the basement, is it over? I go, I don't know. I have no idea. And then all of a sudden, boom, it started all over again. It was the eye we'd gone through.
I believe it's going to be right around the Orinoco Street area, just to the west of the park.
Chelsea,
south of
one of our good buddies. That's my oldest one's one of their best friends. That she was coming to our house. She pulled into the driveway and pulled behind Megan's car, which was in the driveway. She opened up the door to run in, and she said it was right there. And the tornado was right there. So she dove back into the car. For some reason, she had a pillow that she'd taken from her boyfriend's house or something, and she had a pillow, and she covered her head with it and said, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Maiden Lane. Did you have further?
I am in the... It's on the ground. 20th and Main Lane.
Watch and listen now as a storm chaser right there in Joplin captured the massive twister as it hit that city.
This is a Jeff Trusty storm chaser. I have a large destructive tornado and on the southwest side of Joplin. Notified, large tornado on the ground.
And that's our oldest daughter wasn't with us.
Yeah.
She was at the mall, which is on the other side of town. And I had just talked to her. They had made them go, there was a basement area at the mall, so they had made them go down for cover. So I literally just talked to her, and then the phone went dead. So luckily we knew she was okay, because once we found out the tornado didn't go that way, but unfortunately for her, she did not know that. And see, she's driving into the heart of the tornado, and then she sees this house, and
it's hard to imagine. You look at your entire neighborhood's screwed. There's not a house standing between here and that's a few blocks away.
Copy, you want us to run emergency?
Yes, I do. We'll need some personnel with some chainsaws and some apparatus.
They're looking for family members. If you take a look here at this neighborhood, all I can say is it looks very reminiscent of what we saw last month in Tuscaloosa.
people said people found stuff in Springfield.
The farthest they said I checked was the farthest something had ever gone and made it all, I think, in Indiana. They said that was the farthest that a storm had ever blown, anything that they know of at that point.
115 Dingle. Jasper to all stations, fire west. Be advised, St. John's was hit in this storm.
After the tornado, I don't know if you heard that, but there were lots of people that said they saw butterflies or...
They saw a lot of Then there's a book that a lady wrote that took some of those stories, and that's basically, it's called The Butterfly, because of the numbers of saying that they were people with wings. He was being taken up. They brought him back down.
Yeah.
And there's, I know there's other stories like that all across town. I mean, when you got that many people affected, there's a ton of stories that are out there that, and I'm assuming most of them are true. I mean, I can only assume that would be an angel. That would be the first thing I would think of and what I believe.
It's really, it chokes you up when you see what's happened here, Paul. I mean, take a look. I mean, everything is just completely demolished. I mean, look at the neighborhood that has been destroyed here. Cars have been flattened, overturned. The homes, some homes don't even exist.
The window on the side of the walkout was off, and we were just putting people in there because it was still raining. Started bringing people here. Our neighbors a couple of doors up, they just moved in. I remember that was one of the pictures. You see a bald-headed guy carrying a little baby. That's Paul, my neighbor, and that's neighbors that had just moved in about 3 houses up.
Over the weekend, 70 tornadoes in 70 states, but what happened here in Joplin was certainly the worst. Just take a look at right around us. There are at least 6 cars mashed into...
This morning, the aftermath. Homes completely demolished, businesses wiped out, and the death toll still rising.
I think that we came out, we didn't lose anybody. We were very lucky. And none of our neighbors were killed or anything like that. I think it would have changed maybe a little bit on moving back had that have happened, and we'd have lost real close friends that are still our friends now. I mean, that'd have been a different thing. But one of the pluses is we did rebuild, and it's worked out for me. I'm not going to say it's worked out for everybody, and
we're so lucky that we didn't lose a person. And I think none of us, I don't ever think I was a materialistic person, but, we all get used to stuff. Mm-hmm. And when you see it all splayed out like that, it really doesn't matter. That part I think is good. The only thing I really wish, everybody always asks me, that's the number one thing people ask, what do you wish you had? I wish I had their baby books.
So we've got, we still have some things that survive, but you look at all the rest of that stuff's just stuff. You collect the stuff, and then it goes, and then you collect it again. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
Yes, we've got multiple casualties and
everyone's helping, looking for people. I know people are searching the rubble, still looking for people out there.
Flat, Paul. There's not one single building in any direction I look that's still standing.